Jeff in the group, W6DQ here.
Well, yeah, it's warm.
Rocco, I'm going to hold off on what we're running here till the round table, but it's pretty much the same stuff we run every week. So I got to start bringing some other stuff back online. I got the KWM2A sitting here in front of me. The last time I fired it up, which was a few weeks ago, I couldn't get it to transmit. So got something going on there. And same thing with the 32SB. There without transmitting. So I got something going on, and it certainly isn't humidity. So I don't know what's happening. We're very, very dry, and I don't think dry, low humidity affects vacuum tube electronics like it does solid state. And I have to be really careful when humidity's down like it is right now when we work on solid state or start stuff like that. To get the place, get the shop to the point where I can actually handle this stuff. It's pretty scary, and I have had some. I killed a KWM380 and that was pretty much a bummer, and I still haven't figured out what I broke, but status discharge. Oh well, that's what happens. Life in the desert. Over to Lisa, KF6QNG, W6DQ.
Okay, thank you. Well, so much something right. Anyway, gives you something to do, keeps them off the street. So, anyway, gotta have something to do in the night. Not much else to add for now, so go ahead and give it over to Bob. AK6R from KF6QNG.
KF6QNG, AK6R. Very good, Lisa. Yeah, I heard just about everybody's name, and Ron's a little low in power, K2RP, but he certainly reasonable with this location. So, put your linear on, Ron. Anyway, antennas. I'm going to be giving 3 talks next month, different radio clubs on the Zoom meeting, so if you're interested in learning about a new type of antenna, drop me a line at ak6r@yahoo.com. But in a nutshell, what we've done is we've taken our off-center fed antennas, which are designed completely different than a lot of others. We do a very short a one side and a long other side. Now, if you just take that concept and instead of and chop off the one side and use the coax as part of the antenna rather than a single extra wire, you essentially have an end-fed off-center fed antenna, and it works very, very well, almost identical to an off-center fed. And you don't have the high voltage problem that the current end-fed half-wave antennas have with voltage fed, and the transformers are much easier to make, and the broadband, ours goes from 40 to 6 meters, for example, with 55 feet of wire, and a choke at the 12-foot mark. Very nice, very easy, very safe. I just love it. So we're going to be announcing that, and some other ones to go along with it. But if you're interested, I'm going to be doing, like I say, 3 Zoom meetings on it, and just for different clubs around the United States. Well, back to you, Rocco. Hope that explained kind of what we're doing. And 6KN, AK6R.
Okay, 6 little green light.
Okay, I've got Skip on there. He'll be at the end of the list. See if I can get on frequency here. Boy, I'm trying to listen to myself on the SDR. Okay. Let's keep going. Well, let's see what time is it. I better pick up some. So I've got Skip there. Who else is trying to get on the list? Anybody?
Rocco, I'm here, WJ6W.
Okay, Dave. Got you. Well, I'll tell you what. Since you're here, Dave, Let me check one more time. Anybody else trying to get on the list? Okay. Tell you what. Let's get going. You ready to take the list there, Dave?
Yeah, I'm good. So just feed it to me, and we'll get started.
Okay. First will be Chuck, N6AF, followed by Dennis, W6DQ, then Lisa, KF6QNG, and finally Bob, AK6R. You okay so far?
Yeah, so far.
Okay, why don't you throw me in there after Bob, and then we'll go to Glenn, WB6RLC, followed by K6RCL, DJ, and then Ron, K2RP, and then WA9JIB. Oh, let's see, no, I already have 4. Myself, RLC, RCL, K2RP. Okay, that's 4. Okay, okay with that?
And I have Bob next.
Right, WA9JIB and 6WHK, Phil. Gary, WA7BIP. And then Skip, K6LGL. Got it?
Yeah, I was just still writing. I got it, and that's good. I've got you after AK6R, Bob. So that's the list?
That's the list, and my suggestion, if you want, is just get going. I think if there's any late birds, we'll pick them up. QSL?
Yeah, QSL, Rocco. Thanks. Thanks for taking the earlies. And I heard some of the folks checking in and giving a weather report. Our weather report here in Tarzana next to Woodland Hills today was 106. And I think it's in the 90s now. But it was a warm one, another one. Just like everybody's having, I guess. Okay, let's see. Let me read the preamble, and then we'll get started with the Vintage Sideband Round Table tonight. So welcome everybody to the Vintage Signal Sideband Round Table. This is your name and call. Oh no, it's Dave, and my call is WJ6W in Tarzana, California. I'm the host for this evening's roundtable. Tonight the station I'm using is a Collins KWM2 and a 30L1 amplifier. Microphone is a ribbon microphone by RCA from many years ago. And various other things. The antenna is an inverted V up about 65 feet. So we meet each Tuesday evening at or near 3895 kilohertz. All of us should be using equipment that was manufactured before 1981, or home-built equipment with the equivalent technology. First-timers may, however, use modern equipment. Does anyone have any announcements related to vintage single sideband radios? Go ahead.
Whiskey 6 Delta Quebec.
Yes, Dennis. Good evening. Go ahead.
Well, good evening, Dave, and thank you. Well, this is an interesting announcement, and as you guys know, I belong to this group called Rat Pack, the Radio Amateur Training Activities and Planning Activities Committee. It's something like that. Anyway, we do a couple of Zoom sessions every week. And it occurred to me that one of the guys on the group on our planning group has been asking about touring Radio Shacks, and it occurred to me that maybe some of you guys in the Vintage Sideband Roundtable would be interested in participating in a virtual shack tour on Rat Pack. And we'd allocate 10 or 15 minutes. I'm looking at getting maybe 5 or 6 people and do 10 to 15 minutes each max. and this will be a live session. You can take people around your shack and show off your favorite equipment and all that kind of stuff. So maybe even do some live demos, set up a net or something. We can all talk to each other. But anyway, I'm curious to hear opinions on that. I want to get the information back to our group. We've got a couple of open windows in the next few weeks, which would be kind of cool to do this. So I'm going to put something on the reflector, but I wanted to ask folks tonight to be thinking about that if they'd like to do that. So Dave, back over to you. Thanks for the opportunity. WJ6W from W6DQ.
Yeah, okay, Dennis. Well, that sounds very interesting. You may have said it, but what day is it and the time when the Rat Pack occurs?
This will be on a Wednesday evening at 6 p.m.
Okay, I'll make a note. Wednesday at 6 p.m. Well, very interesting. Yeah, I might be interested in that. And I think doing an on-air kind of roundtable net or something at the same time might be kind of cool. So thanks for that. Very interesting. Okay. Any other comments? Okay. Well, the question of the evening tonight is very short. What vintage linear amplifiers have you used? Which one is your favorite? So let us know that, and please keep your comments to a couple minutes to give everyone a reasonable amount of time. Actually, our list isn't that long, so it isn't that critical tonight, but anyway, let's get started. But by the way, I guess I said I'm using a 30L1 here, and in my case, that's the only amplifier I've never had, so I like it. But it's easy to tune and pretty reliable and quiet. So those are the three factors I like about it. Anyway, let me start it off with the first four. First we have N6AF Chuck, and then it goes to Dennis, W6DQ, and then to Lisa, KF6QNG, and then to Bob, AK6R. And then Bob's going to have Bob, you're going to have a list longer than my arm, aren't you? And Bob, when you're done, send it back to me. N6AF, go ahead, Chuck. This is WJ6W.
All right. November 6 Alpha Fox. I like the question of the evening. Let me see. I just have to throw a couple things in here. I already described my radio a couple of times. A 1963 KWM2. So good to hear there's another one on there, Dave. Yours sounds excellent. I think you mentioned a ribbon mic. You get a gold ribbon for that audio quality. That's for sure. And Rocco, this morning on 7155, when that hiker in the high Sierras at 10 or 11,000 feet broke in near Mammoth Lakes, I'm really curious if I had to take off, but I wanted to hear how he was tuning into that end-fed. So when it comes to you, if you could just give me a quick description how long that end-fed was, and if he made any comments about it. I think it was you running a KX3 into it, but with some sort of a little portable tuner, and that whole situation very much appeals to me right now. As we eventually head into early fall, I'll probably head up to the upper Sierras there. And Dennis, on the Live Shack tours, I'm all in. And would that be Zoom? And I'm kind of curious, how would I transmit? Or I guess I'd just be talking over Zoom as I walk around with my phone, showing the various radios and whatnot. So just a little more information on how that would go. So very cool. So let me readjust the KWM2 with my external digital readout. So vintage linear amp, well, I have two of them here, and they're the same. They're the SB220, and I really like them. I think it's one of the most properly designed
radios that came out of Heathkit. Just a really good, fundamental, solid design. So I have a pair of those. I do have also a couple of what I would compare in the dirt bike world to maybe a Renegade Husqvarna 400 single cylinder. These are, for example, large numbers of 6KD6 sweep tubes, but properly biased and all that. Good linearity, but kind of silly amplifiers that I've built. SB220 is my answer. Onward, W6DQ from N6AF.
All right, Chuck, N6AF and the Vintage Single Sideband Round Table, W6DQ, Dennis in Inyokern. Well, let's see. First off, we are running the KWM 380 and running that through the Alpha 87A at the moment. And tonight I'm running over to the inverted V that's up about 55, 60 feet at the apex. And it seems to be doing the job. I switch back and forth between the inverted V and the horizontal loop, and they pretty much are the same. But I found some interesting things with the horizontal loop versus a couple of the Yagis that I have up. That it's interesting how it behaves on 10 meters. The loop will sometimes outshine my 10-meter Yagi on close-in stations, which I guess kind of makes some sense. Single hop, short skip, the loop is louder, so that's really a wild one. Anyway, Dave, interesting question. And I don't know, you said Bob might have a list. Well, I've got a list too. But I'll go through it as quickly as I can, and I'll focus on the ones that I really like. That one in particular that I really like. But a lot of amplifiers over the past 50 years, plus a couple of 30L1s, a 30S1, a couple of Henrys, a 2K4, a 2K2, a Drake L7, an MLA 2500B from Johnson, a desk kilowatt. That was 50 years ago using that. A couple of Thunderbolts, an SB230, and a Hammerland HXL1. Those are all really neat amplifiers, but I love the 2K4 because it's so stout. The 30S1 is nice. The 4CX1000s are nice too, but the grids are kind of fragile. The grid is kind of fragile in that too. So running a pair of 3500Zs, the same power level as the 30S1, it just lopes along at that. So I do like the 2K4. It also looks cool, but those are the candidates here. I'm trying to think if I've forgotten any. I don't think so. But that's my list. I'm going to stick to it. I'm going to pass this over to Lisa. Thanks for hosting this evening, Dave, with a great question. Thanks for taking the earlies, Rocco. You guys both have bodacious signals out here in Inyokern, where it's temperature's dropped a little. It's probably about 104 right now. So over to Lisa, KF6QNG and the Vintage Single Sideband Round Table, W6DQ.
Okay, thank you, Dennis. Just timing him. He went a little over, but I told you he'd have my 2 minutes. If I don't operate. Equipment. Yeah, only this. But anyway. So anyway, hope everyone has a good rest of the week. Try to stay cool if you can. And with that, I'm going to send it over to Bob, AK6R from KF6QNG.
Once again, Lisa, we meet in the dark. KF6QNG to take from 2 AK6R. Get my 2s and froms here. Figure it out. Well, it's a very interesting question, and Dave, I probably got a long list, but I've only got a few favorites. I've had all the Heathkit linears, and I've had all the Collins linears, and probably had about 15 different Henry linears. The two that stand out in my mind from Henry were the 3K and the 8K. And when I was doing serious contesting in about the early 2000s, late 1999, I think it was, and I was winning all kinds of contests and stuff. I was a big RTTY contester and had lots of certificates on the wall here, winning sweepstakes and a whole bunch of other things. But anyway, The thing I liked about it was is that you never had to worry about it, of the grids. You never had to worry about the plates on it. You just ran it. It would run at 1,500 watts or more if you decided to, and it just never had any issues on it. The 3K was probably more of a favorite than the 8K because the 8K was auto-tuned, and you had to tune to a different frequency. But if you changed bands, it took about 2 minutes to auto-tune to the new band, and it was just too slow for contesting. So I eventually got rid of that one, although it was a really, really nice amplifier, and I kept the 3Ks. But after a while, I wanted something a little bit smaller in size, so I went to the Alpha amps. I had Alpha 76s, and I had about 4 of them, and I just loved that amp. You could run a 1,500 watts RTTY 24 hours a day, and it would never hiccup. So my favorite amp of all time, and for vintage amps, was the early Alphas. They worked just great. I didn't particularly like the later Alphas, and the maintenance on the new ones is just too much because nobody really does it. My current amp is a Flex solid state amp, and that's absolutely my favorite to date. It's really a great amplifier. It's 2 amps in one, puts out 1,500 continuous on any mode that you want, and it's auto-tuned too. So as you get bands, it automatically changes for you all the tuning. There's nothing you have to do. You can run it remotely and everything else. But as far as vintage amps, I think the Alpha 76 were probably late 80s or mid 80s, but I don't have recollections of it too much before then. Maybe some of the early Henrys I had, but that's probably one of my favorites. Anyway, I think it goes back to you, Dave. I know Rocco was going to be after me, but I'm number 4, so let me turn it back to you. And thanks for running the net tonight, and it is a very nice question. WJ6W to take it, AK6R.
AK6R with the rest of the group, WJ6W. Okay, Bob, well, yeah, I'm sure you have a much longer list. You and Dennis probably have the longest lists of amps of any of us that you've used. Interesting about the Henry auto-tune taking 2 minutes. That's pretty incredible considering today's technology, isn't it? But it did it. Let's see, and it looks like, well, with the first 4, Henry is leading the way as a manufacturer, at least on the amplifiers. So, before I go further, let me see if there's anybody else who wants to get on the list for the Vintage Sideband Round Table coming out.
November 4, Delta, Lima, Alpha.
Was that N6DLA, Matthew?
Affirmative, N4, DLA.
Did anyone copy well enough to confirm that?
It's N4, DLA. It's N4, DLA.
N4, DLA, Matthew. Okay. Got it down. All right, let's go with the next 4. We have Rocco, our early host tonight. And then it goes to Glenn, WB6RLC. And then Glenn, turn it to DJ, K6RCL. And then DJ, turn it to K2RP, and then back to me. Go ahead, Rocco. This is WJ6W.
Okay, Dave. And let's see if I can get on frequency, more or less. Yeah, first of all, thank you for hosting tonight. And thank you, Dennis, for reminding me that some of these older radios need exercise. I'm sitting here staring at my KWM2A and my other S-line, and I haven't turned them on for a while. I should do that. Let's see. Okay, so here's the list that I don't think it's complete, but this is the stuff I've run over the years. Didn't own it all. Some of it was at club stations. 30L1, SB200, SB220, several homebrew amplifiers, including one at UCLA. They used an ART 13 auto-tune. It was that ever a contraption?
Yaesu FL 2100, Hunter Bandit 2000D, Drake L4B, Henry 2K, 2K4, and 2K2. Eastkit Warrior, a Alec Raptors Loudon Boomer, GSB 200, an MLA 2500, and last but certainly not the least, a Johnson Desk Kilowatt. So that's the list I've had or at least ran on a regular basis. Out of all those, for styling, the Drake L4B, but for sheer design competence and ease of use, my favorite would be the Collins 30L1. Okay, Glenn, here she comes. WB6RLC from N6KN.
All right, Rocco, thank you very much. Very impressive. Glenn here, Cathedral City, expert over from Palm Springs, where the desert meets the sand. Boy, it's been hot. But, 115, 116 days, something like that. Anyway, so the book tonight is Atlas 360 XL. So I enjoyed this radio. I like the dot matrix LED display. So I just think that's actually pretty cool. And it's a micro radio, but it has to run off the 12 volts. It's all solid state. Let's see, Mike Fisher, 444, up to an off-center fed dipole at 30 feet. Let's see, well, to kind of answer the question there, I got a short list, much shorter than Dennis, or Rocco, the Swan Mark II, that's the Mark II KW. But anyway, and that's the only one I've ever had, and I don't use it. Most of my other radios are Swan, and like the Swan 400, the Swan 500, so they're 400 watt, 500 watt radios, and on the other end, that's like less than an S unit on the other side, so I don't see how it makes any difference. But anyway, that's just me. Other than that, let's see, I think that's about it. Like I said, less than an S unit compared to a KW. Anyway, so DJ, coming your direction. My ham radio, whatever, almost doppelganger there, K6RCL, WB6RLC. Yeah, WB6RLC, K6RCL. Okay, well, copies are requested this time. DJ here in Goleta, running a Gentech 544, about 100 watts, with an offset fed antenna. And the band has been real noisy here for me. It's probably because of the cooler temperatures, because temperatures have been like, we got up to 76 today, 77. And we're in the 50s at night. So we're doing okay. Arizona and so forth. I guess a lot of people have got frequency. Sidewalks are up to 100 meters. You fry an egg on that. The hottest I ever experienced was at Edwards Air Force Base at 141 degrees on the plane. So anyway, with that, they come in I'm at my house. Move back into our house after over a year. So I got a lot of stuff to do. So with that, over to K2RC, K6RC. Oh, before I forgot, the amplifier. yeah. And the other one is Greg Hill 4B. Over into our communication station.
Ron, K2RP, it's your turn. Go ahead.
Okay, Ron, thank you.
K2RP and the rest of the group there, WJ6W. Yeah, you know, that is true on the 30L1. That was the one thing I didn't like. There was no standby switch, but I did add one in my control panel here. So I solved that problem kind of like you did with a switch on the side. But other than that, it's a nice little amp. It seems to be pretty popular in the lists here tonight. And yeah, Rocco, boy, you have quite a list there. The Hunter Bandit. I was trying to think of that. I was going to ask if anyone had used a Hunter Bandit, which actually is sort of a semi, at least physically looking, a 30L1 clone, and I remember it was made by a company. I think the engineers were from Collins at one time, and they were in a town in Iowa just south of Cedar Rapids where the Collins plant was. Anyway, they made this Hunter Bandit for a time, which had a resemblance to the 30L1. I think the power supply was external. Anyway, maybe Rocco can enlighten us more on that later for another round. Okay, I'll check one more time for any other check-ins here for the Vinny Sideband Round Table. Come now.
W6YEC, checking in, Dave.
Well, George, good evening to you. You sound great, and thanks for checking in. Would you like to take your turn now?
Oh, that'd be fine, thank you. And Ron's sounding good. It just got down here, so my son got me down. So nice to be able to check in and say hi to everybody. Sure appreciate all the good wishes and what have you. We're doing pretty good, and have our senses about it, and able to talk. So we're just getting the left side strengthened and going. So we're out of rehab and getting into outpatient rehab. So we're expecting more improvement down the line here. Anyway, thanks for letting me check in here tonight. It's been a long time since I've been on this net. And talking about amps, I thought, boy, it sure might be nice to get on tonight. That's one of my favorite subjects. Like Ron, years ago, I started off with a Homebrew 813. That was a lot of fun. And 811s and what have you. But to keep it somewhat short, the amp I'm using is the MLA 2500. I have to say this Dentron's one of my favorites, mainly because it's so compact and it's 160 meters through 10. That's what makes it so nice. And the 30L1's one of my favorites. I have that laced in with the TS520 sugar, so they make a nice combination together. And the way I solve the standby switch is I have an electronic control outlet in the back here for remoting, so I'm able to turn the amp on and off with that. So that is a nice little feature to have. All right, that's about it, Dave. I don't have too much more to offer. I hope everybody's doing well. Back to you, W6YEC.
Okay, George. Well, thanks. And as I said, you're sounding great. Good to hear you tonight. And thanks for your contributions, adding to the 30L1 popularity list. And the MLA 2500 has been mentioned before a couple times, but some of the guys were listening so fast I couldn't write everything down. We had so many of us they've worked with. So anyway, thanks for your contribution there, George. Let me go with the next four then. We've got Bob, WA9JIB, and Bob turn it to Phil, N6WHK. Phil turn it to Gary, WA7BIP, and Gary to Skip, K6LGL, and then back to me. So go ahead, Bob, WA9JIB, WJ6W.
Okay, WJ6W in the group, WA9JIB. Dave, you're about 40 over 9. George, you want to give me easy 50 over 9. Pushing 60, which pegs the meter here on my Yaesu. So, I don't know what's going on by DJ there, but the band is very quiet here in La Piñata, and signals are quite strong tonight. So it's a pretty good night. Quite a change from last night on AM, which was pretty funky. So, but everybody is really coming in very nicely here. Heard Matthew in there also. So let's see, I'm on the Yaesu station tonight, Fox Tango 101 Echo, barefoot, to my dipole, inverted V hanging off a 35-foot mast. Just a little too warm and got home a little too late to fire up the big helicopter's gear for tonight. So, on to the question, I don't have too much on it. I'm not much of an amplifier kind of guy. I've owned 3 in my life. As a teenager, my dad got for us with our HT37 and an SX101 Mark something, I don't remember. We had the HT41 linear, which I really liked the looks of. I think I used it once. Just never needed it. In the 1960s, you weren't anybody you wanted to work barefoot. So, but I kind of wish I hadn't let that one go. That was, they're pretty rare. And the few times I've run across them, somebody has molested them greatly. So I don't, you know, if I ever got one, I'd want it to be close to original. So I do have the companion to the 101E, which is the SL2100B sitting next to me. But I really don't use it either. I got it thinking I would use it, and then I really don't use it. Actually, I tried the traps on my trap dipole the first time I used it. So that could be useful for, you know, DX pile-ups and things like that. That's the only thing that I could see any reason to use an amp for. And from a local ham, I recently got an Helicopter's HT33A, which would be an almost perfect companion to my HT32B and SX115. If it were the 33B, I'd be very inclined to keep it, but I got this because Art, KB7LOQ, supposedly wanted it. I was going to move it on to him, but I don't know that he's going to take it now so far. I think he said he had some health issues, and for me, it's just a 106-pounder that I don't really want to lift. Needs some work also, but cosmetically, just a beautiful amplifier. And anybody looking for an HT33A, get a hold of WA9JIB. I'm good on QRZ.com. With that, over to Phil, N6WHK, WA9JIB.
WA9JIB, November 6, Whiskey Hotel Kilo. Thank you. Yeah, I only have one vintage amplifier. I have 3 amps here, but only one vintage, and that's the L4B. And I really like it. It's been very faithful. I've had no problems with it at all. Corrosion on one of the tubes. Went in and cleaned out the tube socket, cleaned up the pins on the tube, and it's been running it again ever since then perfect. So that's about it with me and amplifiers. I do have 2 others, but they're modern. One's a Marathon, one's a ICOM amp, and they're both very good amps. But as far as vintage goes, the L4B is it. And I'd be kind of interested in this seminar when that comes up. So with that, I'm going to turn it on over. WA9BIP N6WHK.
Okay, Phil, very good. This is WA7BIP, Gary and Duarte. And we're running the Kenwood TS830S and barefoot, no amplifier. I do have an amplifier, so I can contribute to the list there, Dave. We just have to pull 220 into the shack here. And it looks like I'll be doing that this summer because we're remodeling the kitchen. And when I have them go over there to run some extra outlets to the panel, we're going to grab some 220 and bring it here to the shack. So, my earliest amplifier I really like was it. I'll just mention it because you guys will remember it once I bring it up. You'll probably remember the number on it. But at the Washington State radio club radio station there, I think it was W7YH. We had some TMC equipment that was beautiful. Run independent sideband with a separate transmitter and receiver. And along with that was a kilowatt amplifier. So it was a TMC kilowatt amplifier. And man, that was a nice one. That was easy to tune up and just bulletproof. So my go-to amplifier that I like is a Hitchin SB220. And mine's a little different than the standard one. I modified it a little bit more stable in the grip surface. And I'm using a set of 3-400s in it, so the 3-500s. And that's mainly because I had a friend in the broadcast industry that could give me all the 3-400s they wanted. So that was wasn't enough to make it go out by the expensive
amps. I haven't got it running yet. And I don't, it goes by another name, and I can't remember the name. And Bob, I'm sure, 836R will know about this one, but it's made, it was made by N6ZU, N6ZU amp, and 2A13 in a very complex spot. I like it because it looks cool, and it was a real close to Bob, and he was doing a reading contest with it, 836R. With it, and he blew out the plate test on it. So, with all the other projects he's got going, he just didn't want to mess with it, so I bought it. He was able to get it. And at the bottom, I opened it at the bottom is a replacement hardware transformer that hasn't been on at 2 points. So, we did all the research on it. Thank you, Bob. I never did order that 4-inch transformer, but I need to get on it. That's just one full amplifier. I've got it underneath the stacked on top of each other. It's nice in the package. So that's it. It goes to Chip, J6LGL. It's WA7VIP.
Okay, Gary, thank you. WA7VIP there in Duarte. And the visit Sideband Round Table Group. This is Skip and Santa Monica, K6 Little Mark, K6LGL. Okay. Well, I got to remind you, gentlemen, that the first 35 years I was operating mostly VHF, UHF, and microwave. So a lot of amplifiers were built, originally tube types and so on, and went to solid state. But when I decided to go back to the low bands, back in the 90s, I decided to get back to where it all started from. And then I ran a homebrew 4CX250 D amplifier, which could handle, which was 2,000 watts output. With around about 2,800 volts on the plate. And I also got hold of a used AL80B made by AL80A. I used that for quite a bit. I could take some 10 and 15 meters on that one. And then lately, I have a table of the 572B2, for amplifiers all over the place. So I have one here on a couple on 75 meters, including the SB2 limited, which is a pair of them, and then I converted my Globe King 400 to an 572B. So we're about 350 watts output carrier. So it's a combination, homebrew and that. A little bit of both, but probably the emphasis is on homebrew as far as amplifiers. Nothing fancy. Never had any Collins amplifiers of that, but the first power amp that I built was in 1958, a pair of 400As push-pull. And it ran 3,800 volts on the plate, so that was good for 1,000 watts of output, no problem. Okay, back to you there. I'm good to hear Cousin George back on. Sounding good, George. W6YEC, welcome back. So, back to you there, Dave, WJ6W, K6LGL.
All right, Skip, thank you. This is WJ6W turning to the mini Sideband Round Table. And we got some pretty interesting amps in there from Gary. PMC amp, I don't know which one that would, I wasn't unaware of any PMC amps, so I couldn't help you out with the part number there. And the N6ZU, I believe he's a silent T now, but I remember I went up to visit him one time. If you're referring to the N6ZU that was, where was he? Up by Sacramento or something, I just can't remember, but I know I believe he did make amplifiers, so very good. And and all the others. A lot of interesting amps out there. Okay, I have. Let me see if there's anyone else. I just have one more on the list here. Anyone else who wants to get on the list for the vintage roundtable, come now.
area.
Yeah, Gary, hang on, Jay, I got you, NY6L. Go ahead, Gary.
Yeah, I just wanted to tell George, welcome back, and praying for you, and not just always to hear you on the radio, but listen for you on AM and everything, just checking in on you. And a lot of people get there because very few people left to prepare the equipment, so you got to get back on the after the saddle and join us to keep all this stuff running. So that's all I wanted to say, Dave. Thank you.
Yeah, okay, Gary. Yeah, I second that. It's really so wonderful to hear you, George. And I hope you make excellent progress here as you have so far. And we hope to hear you more often. Hopefully you can get down the shack on your own before too long. Okay, so we have two more on the list. We have Matthew, N6DLA. He'll be next. And then we'll turn it over to Jay, NY6L. And Jay, you may not know the question. The question tonight is, what vintage linear amplifiers have you used and which one is your favorite? Okay, so Matthew, N4DLA, go ahead. This is WJ6W.
Okay, thanks, Dave. WJ6W and the vintage sideband round table. This is Matthew, N4DLA. In Orinda, California, about 15 miles east of San Francisco, transmitting with an Atlas Q10X and a Shure 444 microphone, straight feeding a 75-meter sloping dipole sloping down from 60 feet. Well, I like the question because it says linear amplifiers that you have used. Didn't say own, just said used. Because I like doing QRP operations, mostly on CW, and some people tell me N4DLA stands for doesn't like amplifiers. Come on, man. So the first amplifier that I bought and still own back in 1977 was the Tentec Model 405. It's about 5 watts, 1 to 5 watts drive for 50 watts out for my Tentec Argonaut 509, and they're still in service here in the shack today. But again, that's the only one that I own. Let's go to turn the page into the ones that I've used. At Whiskey 4 Victor Sierra Victor, which is now Alpha Alpha 4 Victor uniform in Nashville, Tennessee, we had a Collins S-line that included a Collins 30L1 and a tri-bander on top of the top part of the old WSM tower that they had to lower back in the 20s, I think, and also 80 40-meter dipole. So that was the first linear that I ever used. So again, it's used, not owned. Never owned one. And the other amplifier that I've used is an Alpha 7700 at W6OVO's QTH in San Diego. He went SK about 2001, but in the 1999 and 2000 I visited him when I lived in Los Angeles and got to operate that during the ARL DX contest as well as ARL 10-meter contest from his station. He was in Southern California DX Association. So that's probably the favorite. And one more amplifier, I do have a 6LQ6 one-tube. It was for 11 meters that someone who is now a ham built back in the early 70s, and I'm going to use it with that Matt Johnson Messenger 2 CB transceiver I bought from W6DQ at the barbecue back in April. There is a station in Georgia that has a complete webpage on how to convert a Messenger 2 to 10 meters, and he even sells crystals for it. So I've hooked up with him. Just have to get it working on 11 meters. I got the transmitter going, need to get the receiver working. So that's a 6LQ6 amp. It was had bad electrolytics in it that I replaced to get about 50 watts carrier out of it. into a dummy load, of course. We'll see how well it does on 29.0, 29.1. But definitely the favorite is the Ten-Tec 405, because I've used that the most, and plus I bought it when I was 16 years old. Still works. So on to NY6L and the vintage sideband round table from N4DLA Orinda.
Over. Okay, Jay, NY6L, go ahead, it's your turn.
Okay, very good. Hopefully copy my Atlas 215X in about, let me see here, about 82 watts. I'll copy you, Dave, over.
Yeah, I think you're over S9 here on the KWM2. Go ahead.
Okay. That's for the evening. Okay. Well, I got my favorite, actually 2 vintage amplifiers that I've used. Is kind of a rare piece. This is a Yaesu FL110 amplifier that I picked up at Guns Electronics probably about 20 to 25 years ago. Used it as a bookend for quite a few years. It's about 15 watts in to 100 watts out and matches the Yaesu FL301S that you run it by itself is about 15 to 20 watts DDC. So both of them are a match made in heaven running those running together. And those are kind of rare, but worked out very well. I can put it on air maybe next week or something and let you guys hear it. And my other amplifier that I use is the Dentron MLA 250. Uses those very rare 8875s, those IMAX tubes in there, the power triodes. And it is capable of full legal limit, but don't want to push the tubes. So there you go. I'll just keep it short and sweet. And okay, and Dave, at times you're picking my needle here on the Atlas 215 here. So just to let you know. Back there, see you there, Dave. WJ6W, NY6L, Hysteria on the Atlas 215X.
All right, Jay. Yeah, well, the Atlas 215X is doing okay down here. The last 2 stations, Matthew before you was using an Atlas 210X. So you guys luckily showed up back to back here with your Atlases. And yeah, that Yaesu FL110, I had never heard of that one. So that is rare to me at least. So very good. All right, well with that, let's see if there's anyone else who had any comments about linear, any linear amps tonight or anything. Well, give me a shout out and we'll sort them out if there's more than one. But anyone with any other comments?
Quick comment from November 6 Alpha Fox.
And from W6DQ.
Okay, Chuck, go ahead first and then turn it over to Dennis, W6DQ.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, I'm just extremely happy, George, if you're still there, or someone can relay to him. I mean, the best story of the night was hearing you come in here, and your recovery is terrific. So I'm trying to meld this into our hobby here a little bit. The tenacity and perseverance that we all deploy when we're trying to repair our vintage radios. I think a little bit of that character probably was deployed there when you were going through some of that rehab. So just hats off to you. It really, really pleases me to hear you back completely full of life. And I wouldn't have known anything had happened if I hadn't heard about it before. So welcome back. That's just excellent. Okay, back to net control and 6AM.
Okay, yeah, I think the sentiments from felt by all of us here for George. Dennis, go ahead.
Yeah, you doubled with George, Dave.
Oh, I'm sorry, George, go ahead.
I was just thanking John. I was just telling him that means a lot. Over to you, Dennis.
Well, I Thank you, George. And man, I agree with Chuck on that. The sentiments here. It's so good to hear you on the air, and I'm glad you're making a comeback there. That's great news. So you just keep at it, keep up the great work. It's good to hear your voice. So W6YUC, W6DQ. Yeah, I wanted to make a comment. A couple of you guys made comments about the 30L1 not having a standby position. It was never needed with that amplifier. It was deliberately built the way it was, without standby. It's an instant on amplifier. You hit the power switch and it's ready to go. Now the problem with it is, in spite of that, is that switch over the years has become fragile. So not a good idea to operate it that way, but there's no need to add a standby switch to a 30L1. It was never intended to have a standby because you turn it off to standby. And so mine, I have a remote controlled relay to turn the thing on and off, and I don't have to worry about that power switch. It just stays on all the time. So that's my comment about the 30L1, Dave. I wanted to toss that out there because a couple of people commented on that. Back over to you, WJ6W, W6DQ.
Yeah, that's a good point. It is instant on, but I didn't like the idea of turning it on and off more than once during a use period. Anyway, so we can argue about that, I guess. All right. Well, I think with that we'll close the round table, and I do want to give the honorary gold cup to George tonight, and. Since we love hearing from you and you're still around, George, one more comment, and then we'll go on and award the Gold Cup regarding amplifiers. Go ahead, George.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Dave. And I got I don't know why it said John. That was Chuck in there. And really appreciate the comments, Chuck. Yeah, it's been a battle. We're in the battle to win it. So, just got to keep going forward. Anyway, thanks for the cup. I don't know that I deserve it, but it's neat to always receive them. Appreciate it. Like I said earlier, one of my favorite subjects, amplifiers. To spend an evening talking about amps. We've sure had a lot of them, and fixed a lot of them for guys. So thanks for the subject matter. Back to you, Dave. W6YUC.
Well, George, yeah, you do deserve it, and you are a winner. It's you're just sounding great. And maybe some other time we'll have a longer discussion about amps. Okay, well, I am going to give a gold cup regarding tonight's subject. I think the most intriguing to me amp that I heard about was from Rocco, from when he was in the university, I think. You had a homebrew, you worked a homebrew with an ART-13 auto tuner. So I think that is pretty amazing. And runner-up was a couple of them. K2RP Ron with your tiny little chassis with 4606s. I thought that was kind of cute. And then Jay with the FL110, an amp I hadn't heard of. So anyway, Rocco, you win the gold cup regarding the subject tonight. Maybe if you have any other description or any more information, you can describe that ART-13 auto tuner on the homebrew amp. Go ahead.
Well, let's see. Yeah, it was the most Rube Goldberg thing you can possibly imagine. Somebody had taken a 31000 amplifier with a separate power supply with a pole pig in it, but the deck had this ART-13 auto tune in it. So to tune it, theoretically, if you had it set up right, theoretically you hit it, and these ART-13 knobs would start whirling around crazily until it landed on the preset position. Maybe. It was very reliable. So, and some of you will appreciate this. I had all kinds of time when I was up at UCLA single. So I said, it's not working very well. I think I'll just take that auto-tune mechanism apart and clean it and put it back together. And it took me a lot of hours to get it back together. It really never ran any better, but I learned a lot. And one thing I learned was don't ever try that again. And somebody asked about the Hunter Bandit. Yes, that was designed by Ted Hunter, who was a lead engineer at Collins back in the 40s. He designed the first PTO, the one that ended up in all the early 32Vs and 75As. But he formed his own company and he did amplifiers. And the Hunter Bandit 2000 was in fact for 572Bs, plus the power supply with a humongous power transformer stuffed into a 30L1 cabinet with some kind of weird swapped input network on it, not a tune network. It worked. I refurbished the one I had, and it was a little bit heavy for me to pick up, so that thing is down with K6KOI, and he loves it the same reason I loved it, because of the name. Who wouldn't want to run a Hunter Bandit? Okay, thank you, Dave, for taking it. WJ6W, go ahead, from N6Ken.
Yeah, okay. Okay, Rocco, well, I love the Hunter Bandit name, too, and the fact that it came from Collins Engineering and a little company there in Iowa. I'm originally from Iowa, born and raised in Iowa, so I thought that was an interesting amp, but I think my time is past on that. It's my interest is past, but it was kind of a cool thing. Okay, well, with that, we'll close the Sideband Round Table. Thanks for everyone who participated. We'll see you again next week. This is WJ6W. Good night.
Great roundtable, Dave. Thank you so much. And just remember, life is too short for QRP W60Q.